Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. Also check out the third wave of the third wave merchandise, and I hope you enjoyed this video. As you can see today, Cardano is going up a little bit and we are finally seeing a reaction to the 0.618 support level. However, this is nothing too significant, and there's always the chance that we test the support level again, and there's also the chance that we also get to the 0.786 support level, which is at 57.3 cents. So do not get your hopes too high. And as you can see on the RSI right here, even though the price barely went up, it barely went up like 3 cents, the RSI on the 4-hour went from being oversold to now being in the middle of the chart, which is not a good sign, and this usually means that the price is gonna drop. Now of course, if we continue staying above the moving average right here, then we are fine, but if we get any type of correction that puts us below the moving average, then we're most likely going lower, and that could give us another correction like I said. But even if that happens, it's still okay, because if you look at the bull market support band right now, it's extremely close to getting a cross, and as you know, I told you this many times. I'm pretty sure you are probably getting bored of these videos, but it's the exact same story. So let me actually explain the Elliott wave count again in case you have no idea what's going on. Here we have a 1-2 setup, and well, the second wave moved down, as you can see, already got to the 618 many times, and we never really got a big bounce, meaning that the 618 is not really acting as a good resistance level, which is extremely unusual for Cardano, because usually Cardano actually reacts to the 618. As you can see here, we reacted to the main support level, the 618 support level in the second wave, and well, even here, before we actually had a bounce, before we went up like 300%, Cardano got to the 618 like 4 times, and it always stayed above it, except here we slightly got below it, but we did not get to the next extension, which is the 0.786. So I mean, the market is still looking good, and if we do get a bounce right now, the next target is the third wave of the 1-2 setup. As long as we stay above 51 cents, then the third wave target will still be valid, and that target is at $1.19. And of course, I mean, even if we get the third wave right now, that's still not going to confirm that this low right here is in, because we need to get 5 waves up, and for these 5 waves to happen, I mean, like I said, we already have a 1-2 setup, we're waiting for the third wave, then we'll need a fourth wave move down and a fifth wave move up, and these 5 waves will actually complete the first wave of the third wave up here, which happens to be the third wave of the main third wave. And of course, this is gonna take some time. I have no idea when Cardano will top. All I know is that Cardano will most likely top when Bitcoin dominance will bottom. And as you can see right now on the Bitcoin dominance chart, we're still holding strong, meaning that until we get a move to the downside, Cardano might just go sideways for a little bit. And also, please not forget, right here on this chart, we had a cross, and this usually results in a correction. I mean, we had one right here. As you can see, the red line went above the green line, and that made Bitcoin dominance drop from like 59% all the way down to like 54%. Of course, it was a fake out, and we still went higher after that, but it's important to know this, because after a cross, we usually go down. So, we'll see if we do that or not at some point in the future. And if we do break down, then, I mean, what we need to do first is break below the bull market support band and then the 200-day moving average. So first we need to break above 62.6%, and then, I'm sorry, below 62.6%, and then below 61.2%, and then we also need to break above this important extension, which, as you can see, we used as resistance when we tried going up, and then we used as support right here when we tried going down, and we need to break below this, and then if we do, the next target is the 0.236 support level of the entire move to the upside, and if we break below 57.8 cents, I will pretty much be able to confirm that the altcoin season started. But until that happens, this could just be another fake out, and I keep telling you this, but yeah, we have to, continue, at least do going down if we want to get a confirmation that the altcoin season started. And obviously an altcoin season usually looks like this over here, so we will, know when this altcoin season starts once it actually starts. But until it starts, I mean, yeah, there's not much to know about this. But if you look at the RSI on the weekly, things are looking pretty good because we actually are below the moving average here, and this is a good sign. I believe this is exactly what happened in November over here before we had the big bounce. Well, not the big bounce, the big move to the downside. We dropped below the moving average on the RSI, and that gave us a nice correction, and during this time Cardano went up like 300%. So I am still bullish. Obviously I'm not bearish. I mean, of course I'm not going to be bearish when Bitcoin dominance is at cycle highs. It's like being bearish when Bitcoin dominance was, up here. It's just, not a good idea, because at some point it's going to have to break down. You already know the story. I tell you this story in every single video, so I'm not going to repeat it again. And yeah, going back to the Cardano chart, like I told you, we still need to get 5 waves up right now. And even if we do get these 5 waves up, I mean, even, if we get above $1.14, that still does not mean that the third wave will, start like crazy, because after getting a first wave move, we're gonna need an ABC down, and this could take another couple of days or even weeks, and then only after that we could finally start the third wave of the third wave of the third wave, which is the most impulsive move of the cycle. So hopefully we actually complete this 5-wave move to the upside very soon, and hopefully after that we get a very fast correction, and then we could start going up. And like I said, that will only happen when Bitcoin dominance starts dropping, so we'll see if that happens. As you can see on the RSI, we're also, like I told you, not the RSI but the weekly chart, we are close to getting a cross on the market support band, and the weekly chart pretty much shows us that we are somewhere here in terms of the pattern. Now of course we don't have to continue going sideways for another 3 months. Obviously, I mean, we have already been going sideways since pretty much February, so I mean, the correction could be done at any moment, and if it is, the next target is the bull market support band and the 200-day moving average, and then the, third wave target, which is up here, which is at $1.19. But yeah, until that happens, it could just be boring price action, and people keep forgetting this, and I'm gonna keep repeating it, but even here, before we had a big bounce, Cardano was just going sideways for weeks, and right now we seem to be doing the exact same thing, so please remember that. Also, something important on the daily RSI, we are currently fighting with the moving average, and if we get rejected, this could lead to another low or another correction. But if we get above it, and if we stay above it after testing it, hopefully, then I'm expecting higher prices after that, because as you can see, we have been below the moving average on the daily for quite a long time, probably like a month at this point. We did slightly get above it right here, but we got rejected, and that gave us another low, or actually a double bottom. And yeah, hopefully right now, if we do get above it, hopefully we stay above it, and we'll see if that happens or not. Also on the weekly chart, you have to know that we are still below the moving average here, which is not good on the RSI, by the way. And yeah, we dropped below it a couple of weeks ago, and I warned you about this. I warned you that if we close below the moving average on the RSI and we do not bounce the following week, this could lead to a much bigger correction. And what do you think happened? We dropped from like 85 cents all the way down to like, let's say, about 60 cents. And yeah, this move is normal, and this is still a 1-2 setup after all, so it's healthy as long as we actually respect the support levels. And so far we have respected all support levels, but I don't know if that's going to continue happening or not, because if you look at the Ethereum chart right now, it looks like it's going to get a correction. Now of course this could overextend a little bit, maybe we're going to go higher and then we get a correction. But if we do not, and if we get a correction right now, I mean, the target for the second wave move to the downside, the minimum target is the 0.382 support level of the first wave move, and that is at $2,200. And if we drop that low, I mean, there's a very big chance that Cardano drops as well. And if that happens right now, that could give us another low in the other second wave, which is the second wave of this 1-2-1-2 setup, and basically the second wave of the main third wave to the upside. And yeah, like I told you, if we, get a correction right now in the market, and if Ethereum decides that it's, time to drop, then Cardano is not going to look too good unless we actually, continue going up on the ADA Ethereum chart, which has been going down for a couple of weeks at this point, or actually no, a couple of months. It has been going down since February, and yeah, it's the exact same story again. If we do not get above the trend line on this chart, then at some point ADA Ethereum will go to zero, which is not a good sign because as you can see, we have been in a downtrend for about 7 years on this chart. So ADA is not going to be a good buy in the next cycle if, this keeps going down. You might as well just, continue buying Ethereum because ADA will, make less money, at least based, on this chart. So hopefully this breaks above the trend line and then breaks above the 2021 all-time highs, because if it doesn't, then, sticking with ADA in the next cycle might be a very bad idea. So yeah, that's it about Ethereum, that's it about ADA, and now I have to talk about Bitcoin for a second. Bitcoin is just, going sideways, which is okay because it always does this. And we'll see if we continue going up or not. Please do not forget we had a cross on the bull market support band, and I know it has been going sideways for much longer than it did over here after the cross, but obviously that does not confirm that the top is already in. And yeah, I think it will still, continue going up very soon, but there is gonna be some resistance in this area because that's exactly where these highs are. So yeah, like I said, Bitcoin will most likely continue going higher and higher by the end of the year, and Cardano will most likely do the same, but it will only do that once Bitcoin dominance finally starts dropping. Until that happens, the crypto market will pretty much be dead. And I appreciate that people are still watching these videos, and of course there's stuff to learn from them, but if you are expecting me to say something special or to give you false hope, then I'm not here for that. I am making these videos every single day, and it is kind of difficult to talk every single day about the exact same thing, but at some point we're gonna have to be rewarded for it, because that's exactly what happens every single cycle, and not even every single cycle, but every single year. So yeah, hopefully something happens soon, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. Check out the third wave of the third wave merchandise, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.